like that is the illegal bunkering boats, which they use in collaborating with shell operatives, escorting the oil from the flow stations to our local communities. They damage all our environment and also help in corrupting our youth. No good education, no good development. The people are underdeveloped, suffering. Oil village, you see, we survive on the river. We cannot fish.
I decided to pick Abuloma, a community in River State of the Niger Delta area, a community that has acted as a gateway to where all the multinational oil companies are actually carrying out their oil exploration activities in the Niger Delta. Unfortunately, Abuloma as a community has been ravaged recently with a lot of oil bunkering activities, and unfortunately also Abuloma is one of the places that is most secured by the Nigerian Joint Task Force, which is an arm of the Nigerian military in combination with the Navy and the Air Force. In this my trip to Abuloma, I actually went with a Dutch member of the parliament, Ms. Sharon Gersthuizen, and also we were accompanied by an official from the Dutch embassy, Mr. Ronald Sonnemans. And when we got there, we were aided by a local NGO that has been actively participating in the situation of trying to work to see a better environment for the people of the community.
Niger Delta one. We hustle for this life, we thank God for our life. Don't know tomorrow, and God we dey follow. Why you look You get many things where I don't see for this life. We're gonna make me say, I thank you for area where we grow. Children filled with hope to become something relevant, important today. In the midst of confusion, burning and war, we strong, we get talent, we get oil and more. Make we join our hands together, Niger Delta one. Make we do the one we sabi and leave the rest for God. We hustle for this life, we thank God for our life. We correct, you know be small, we stand firm. That's not why we must join hands. Niger Delta one. We hustle for this life, we thank God for our life. Don't know tomorrow, thank God we go follow. Why you are
Right now, I'm going to take you through our experience, our first-hand experience, watching these young boys who are supposed to be in school, who have now been engaged in oil bunkering activities, moving barrels of crude oil to locations where they are locally refined to petroleum products, diesel, kerosene, and even some byproducts of the crude oil processes. But one of the disadvantages of those activities is the fact that it has ravaged the environment in a way that it has created a lot of pollution that has devastated the soil, which has affected plants, agricultural produce in the area, and also have affected the waters, thereby depriving the people who are fishing from getting fishes in the community. My interest in all of this is to ensure that adequate measures are put in place by the oil companies to protect their oil exploration activities, and also the Nigerian government to intensify security in terms of combating these activities, but also providing infrastructural activities to engage and also create job employment for the people so that they can engage them actively in a job-paying process that can ensure their engagement in a way that they cannot be idle, because they say that the idle mind is the devil's workshop. And so when these youths are not having this opportunity to get job when they graduate from school, they end up doing these sort of activities to provide food for them, and not only themselves, also for their family. And also the youth who are supposed to be in schools. Some of these communities, as you know, don't have schools, so they don't have access to education, and so they become just youths who are there not knowing what to do with their future, and not knowing also what to do with their current situation. So they're therefore being lured into these oil bunkering activities, which also fetch them some money, which according to them is very reasonable. And Abuloma, for me, it's a community that, apart from oil production, can as well benefit from tourism, because as a gateway, it's a passage to the riverine areas where there are other things that can also provide means of income for the people. But unfortunately, it's a community that have also been completely neglected. I mean, we were led by youths, one of the youths member of the community, who actually gave us historical background about the community and also the plight of the people of the community. And when you hear the young man speak, you can readily agree with me that he's a young man who is very intelligent, but still lack the basic educational means for him to upgrade his living condition.
In 5 minutes.
All here is Abuloma.
Then from here, it will lead you to Bonnet, Soku, LNG.
Bonnet is the massive,
That's what we are trying to let you know, that Abuloma is the gateway to all the flow stations. That's it. That is how they have damaged all our environment, because we don't have the power to fight them. They collaborate with the government of the day and do whatever they want against the community.
But also one thing that's important, one thing that's really important is on these kind of tours, and when you're engaging with foreign governments or when you're on any advocacy, it's important to be very precise with your facts and your details, And that's JTF, that boat, by the way, that's like Joint Task Force. It's very important to keep things very... No, not big grammar, just direct.
Net al die jongens voor de kraken. Het heel dorp profiteert er natuurlijk wel van. Je ziet iedereen heeft een mooi huis. All the oil that's gestolen.
This is owned by who? No, this is Nest Oil, right? This is an indigenous oil company.
Yes.
Is this Nest Oil? Yeah.
This is owned by a guy who's friends with...
These are legitimate players, yeah. They do lawful business.
Nest Oil, they also do jobs for Shell. They are Shell major contractors.
You know the new local content laws as well?
Yes. Local content bill. With de hand naar beneden, met die grote hand, tik it up, stand up, dig it up.
Can we get close to them?
Yes, very big
See the
closer.
vehicles very often in the lagoon.
See how our people suffer? This is the means of survival.
They're not suffering, they're working. This one, is this suffering?
This is the
This
kind
one
of
is
work they work in this 21st century.
And what? Is there something? Fishing is fun. Fishing is fun. This is not bad.
We cannot go near, right?
We cannot go near them.
Angry?
They don't want that.
They're naked. They don't have clothes on, so. They don't want their naked.
Yes, strong guy.
Wow.
You see? That's means of survival.
Which one is this one? Which town?
All is Abuloma.
This one, Abuloma.
All
Okay.
Abuloma.
This big
It's
house, which one is that?
yes.
All Abuloma.
We
It's
can't go there.
surrounded.
Go, can go.
I go now.
Go now.
Go them over.
I'm never big. I'm a little bit like go on with it.
When are you going to invite me for lunch? When are you going to invite me for dinner?
You can have it now, today. Somewhere. You like Pepe?
So these are all concrete boats.
Yeah.
I want to talk to mommy. I don't even know.
Collaborated with the Shell
Yeah,
of
Abuloma, but I know Club House.
You mean the Shell operatives collaborate with bunkers?
local community, local oil bunkers. You know, spoiling all the environment.
I don't know. Any of those boys, they get full when you get.
Careful.
Yeah.
Give me okay.
You could have a nice handmade tar finish to
The
your
bunker activities,
waterproof it.
unofficial. Yeah, you can see all unofficial bunker activities in Abuloma community,
Check.
causing a very high level of environmental pollution.
Thanks.
See, I need somebody to come with me to carry. I want to go.
Is that okay? Thank you. All right. Good luck. Be careful.
Oil where?
So, oil bunker,
Are you filming? And my battery's dead.
Yeah.
oil storage, using storage.
I need four. I mean, it's very difficult.
So I think there is need for us as a people. There is need for us as environmental activists. There is need for civil society organizations. There is need for the multinational oil companies. There is need also for the Nigerian government to find an enduring solution to the plight of not just the people of the Abuloma community, but also of the Niger Delta area, communities where lack of basic infrastructure, lack of education, lack of access to good health facilities has plunged the people to a situation where they now rely on this illegal oil bunkering as a means of livelihood. Some of them that I met were actually graduates. They didn't have jobs. So they just sat down and they became vulnerable to any kind of approach. For as long as they make some money out of it, for them it's fine. But how the crude oil comes and where they take it to sell, the people on the ground do not actually know. I mean, growing up in Niger Delta, I think in my time when I was young, we didn't see any of these oil bunkering activities. But unfortunately also, we were not provided with the basic needs that would have encouraged us to be in a position where we would have been better off than what we are today. So this episode is a way of trying to show the plight of the people of those areas, and also to incite experts, to incite people who are concerned about the environmental consequences of their action to begin to take the right step to ensure that Abuloma can become a beacon of hope to the people, and also a community that can begin to take the step in the cleaning process, and also deviate from the people deviating from this act of oil bunkering. So all hands must be on deck. We must find solution to making these areas a better place for everyone, including those who live in those areas.
We have a close cooperation as Friends of the Earth Netherlands with our sister organization, Friends of the Earth Nigeria, is also known, maybe better known to you as ERA, Environmental Rights Action. And for many years we have been working to convince particularly Shell, but also other oil companies, that they should take responsibility for the damage that oil pollution is causing to the environment.
What he's doing, because he's from the area, and I'm grateful he recognizes that it is really a responsibility and a service he has to give to his people. I want to also thank Friends of the Earth and the lawyer, because these are really other people's problems. And when you get involved in other people's problems, you become a crusader, and you're so far away from them, and yet see the involvement and the time they have put into it. So really, the great times go to the two of them.
You need also to hear the other side of the story. We don't have the ability to come and make documentaries like this and to come and tell you the real story of what is going on in the Niger Delta. But people like you and I that are seated here are denied the privileges, very basic things that you take for granted. They don't have it. They're denied it. And when they ask for it, they're killed.
How are you going to make Nigerian government obey the decision? How? Because Nigerian government is already failed. Nigeria is a failed country already. We want something different. Because Shell can say, yeah, we'll follow it. But when it gets to Nigeria, it's something different. But how can we monitor that? How? Do you have a strategy?
I understand what you're asking is how do we inform young people in villages? We work very closely with ERA. This is our sister organization, and they have a network. So they go into the villages and inform people about their rights. That's the most important thing. So that means right to food, right to water, all the basic rights we're talking about. Right to education, but we are an environmental NGO, so we focus on these basic rights which are needed to survive. And if people don't get their rights because Shell is polluting their water and their land, then we try to educate people how to stand up for their rights. That is what we do.
For this politician is going to put up in a mess. Do you think the people of Niger Delta is ready for a change? Then one for the world. Do you really understand who Dutch is and the Netherlands government before you start the case with them? Because in 2007, I said, do you really understand who Shell is and the Netherlands government before you start the case with them? Because in 2007, the Prime Minister went to the north to pay homage before the election because he knew that the Northern Nigeria would be the next president. And this same corrupt system is going to continue, and Shell is going to continue the bribe and the corruption. Do you think they are not going to hijack this case politically? That's my question.
Thank you. You live in Jos. Thank you very much. I live in Jos. I am actually ashamed, to tell the truth, of where I am, as in the level of information I have about my own country. And I will not sit here and say I'm a judge of a failed country or not a failed state. I will not see Nigeria as a failed state. And anybody who has that opinion, that's the reason why we are failed, because we have the opinion. As simple as that. Now, Nigeria supports many major countries abroad. Our people are intelligent. We support other economies outside Nigeria. Cannot be a failed state. Yes, we are corrupt, but my question is that our people are as such. This is why we are failed, because we are divided. As simple as that.
Nigeria. We've met them, me and Chief Lambert, we've met them before. And I mean, we could see from them meeting us that we could see the excitement, and we should show to these people that their effort is not in vain, that we can mobilize around them and help them so that justice can come, because you never know, the next people that might be filing suit could be your relatives. So please, if you want to be part of this initiative or part of this progress, you can contact me. You have my email address. Then we can put heads together and see how we can mobilize more people. We're not going there to do a luta. We're not going there to stone people. We're not going there to. We just want to go there and stay in front of the court and say, okay, well, we want justice to come out of this place, to answer some of the questions some of the people have raised. Can we get justice?
Back home in the Niger Delta, they must live up to the expectation of the people. We expect them to do business in a clean way, protect the environment, protect the lives of the people, give people joy, give people hope, give people a sense of belonging, and they can also be part of the developmental process.
Because this is a wonderful opportunity. I mean, things like this cannot go on, particularly people who are non-natives of the Niger Delta carrying out a demonstration without our participation. So it's really a wonderful opportunity, and we're happy to have this platform to also join them in campaigning against gas flare. And of course, we know the hazardous health consequence of flaring gas. And knowing that Nigeria is the second largest gas-flared country after Russia in the whole world, there has to be a stop to this. And so that's why I'm happy that this demonstration is going on today to raise awareness.
Tegen ons in Nederland vertellen ze het verhaal dat ze er echt alles aan doen om zo snel mogelijk in Nigeria te stoppen met het afvakkelen van gas. En dat ze daar heel veel tijd en energie in steken. We weten van onze Nigeriaanse collega's waar we dagelijks contact mee hebben dat dit gewoon niet waar is. Hey!
26 million Niger Delta people who have been rendered voiceless because of poverty, because of deprivation, because of marginalization, who cannot speak, whose cry nobody can hear, because there's no electricity to even bring out their voice. I stand here on behalf of them to say, well, for you to have taken your time to come out this night in the cold, to hold these things on behalf of them, I tell you, whatever thing your endeavor will be, I speak to the Christians, to the Muslims, to the atheists, to those who are free thinkers. You have done something, and someday, somehow, history will have a place for what you have done for my people. I want to thank you, and I want to appeal to you that you should continue to exert pressure. And I see this not just the blame of Shell. My government is also responsible. But by the time this kind of international pressure begins to mount on them, I believe that the people who are in a position to take decisions that
that will bring about change. And that change that we need in the Niger Delta is that all the gas flare must stop. All the gas flare must stop. People are dying every day, and this must not continue. So I thank all those who have put this wonderful thing together, and I thank the security forces who have led us wonderfully here, and I thank you all who have come to stand here today. I say my heart goes to you, and the heart of more than 26 million people go to you. Thank you very much. Keep the struggle going for us. Thank you.
Once again, thank you for being with us on this episode. I hope you have enjoyed my show tonight, and I look forward to seeing you next week, same time, same channel on Ben Television. Have a nice evening. Goodbye and bye.